I want to bring you back up to date on some breaking news we've been following this half hour. This is concerning a school bus accident, a Hillsborough County school bus carrying students from Mary E. Bryant Elementary School. We can take you to the scene now. We have a reporter on location. This bus ran off the road, Peter Bernard, who is joining us now, and ended up in a lake. This is on Kingsmill Place and Eagles Drive North. First of all, the students and the bus driver, everyone's okay, right, Peter?
I would say they're okay, but I'm being told that there have been some minor injuries. One student told me he saw some students that were bleeding. Let me paint the scene for you here. You can see behind me, there's the bus. It's in a pond right here. This is a golfing community, and the bus is in a pond. It's on its side. Everyone is out, but they do have lots of ambulances standing by here and lots of stretchers. You can see one right behind me. I haven't seen any students taken out on stretchers, but they are on standby in case anyone is seriously injured. Here's the path of the bus. Look at this. It's right behind me. You can see where the grass is torn up. You can see where there was some kind of a junction box out there in the road, and it came along here. You can follow the path. It took out a couple of pieces of electronics, went underneath this tree, and if you look, Jim, you can see right above the tree, you can see where the limb has been sheared off a little bit, and then to the right where the tree has been taken out, and then into the pond and overturned on its side. I had an opportunity to talk to a student out here, and he tells me that he noticed that the bus driver was not driving correctly, that he was swerving, and he saw that he was stamping on the brake pedal when was unable to stop the bus. He says then the bus went into the lake and turned over, and that's when he said he was able to escape the front of the bus by getting out the front window that was smashed. Take a look at the bus there. That's quite a dramatic accident there. He said he also helped some kindergartners that were on this bus to get out, and it's ironic, this young man that we spoke to is a safety patrol officer at the school. His name is Nicholas Sierra. Kudos to him. He did a really good job. And as you mentioned, Keith, we were talking about injuries. We don't know of any serious injuries, but I know there have been some injuries here. Right now, we're taking a look at, you can see some of the rescue people that are here. There are stretchers out, and there was a whole line of ambulances as we were walking in. As a matter of fact, if you were trying to get into this development, they are U-turning all cars back on 9 Eagles. You have to make a U-turn to get out of here. They're not letting anyone here, including the media, and we had to hoof it in, hence the reason I'm a little out of breath and sweaty right now. You can see right now some of the paramedics are doing their work right there, and it looks like a student is possibly going to get a ride on one of those stretchers. They're lowering it down. Let's take a look.
Yeah, Peter, I want to interrupt you just a moment.
It looks like she might be taking...
Because the good news is we're mentioning there were no serious injuries, but even more importantly, we're being told that all of the students have been accounted for, so there's no indication that anyone was left behind here. This bus, for those who are just joining us, was coming home from Mary E. Bryant Elementary School. It's hard to say, Peter, whether the bus driver had some sort of a medical condition or if there was some sort of a malfunction, if you're saying he was pumping on the brakes and nothing was happening. But it's fortunate that they missed the base of that tree, went to the left of it, but it looks clearly the edge of the pond caused the bus to topple over and submerge itself into the pond, now laying on its side.
Right, and not only are all the students accounted for, we understand the bus driver has been accounted for too, and he doesn't have serious injuries. You can see right now to the left, paramedics are working on a student from Mary Bryant Elementary School. Well, we've noticed a string of parents that have been streaming in here, and just moments ago we saw some emotional scenes as some of these parents took a look at that bus, and you can imagine, you take a look at that, you've got a student on board, and that's what you see. Right now you can see that bus is still in the water. There's a red flasher on, and yeah, we can go over here. Take a look at this tree, Keith, right above me. This shows you how fast it came in. It took off that large limb there, at least sheared it a little bit, and then there's another limb to the left that's dangling down, and then you can see the tracks of the bus that go through here and right into the pond where it is on its side.
Again, this is street again, Peter, just for the clarification for the people who are listening. This is on Kingsmill Place and Eagles Drive North. If you're a parent with a student on that bus, I'm sure you're probably familiar with this bus route, but for those who are watching who may not be familiar, this is you say it's a golfing community. This is a pond. We can see the fountain going there behind you, so we know it's not too awfully deep.
Yeah, I'll show you the pond right here. This is a huge, large. This is a large pond out here, Keith, and you can see the bus. Jim's getting a better look at it there. It's a large pond. It does have a fountain in the middle. There's been a number of parents that have been allowed to come in. Take a look to the left now, Jim. They are starting to corral some of the concerned parents away from the bus area. Not sure exactly why. And by the way, I also want to mention there are some divers here. I'm going to presume they're from Hillsborough County. They've got their air packs on, and they have been searching that bus just to make sure that there's no one left on board.
Not only that, Peter, it's my understanding that the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office also has a helicopter up, and if we can take a shot from the sky, it might be interesting to see this view. You get a better angle of it here. You can see the full length of the bus, Peter. We're kind of looking from the air right now, and you can see all of the students and the parents that you were talking about standing on the shoreline, the bank. And as you can also see in this shot, the road is blocked off, and all of the activity seems to be taking place right around the edge of that school bus, so no cars are passing through here. So if you're on your way, or I'm sure they're notifying parents right now what happened here. We don't know the specifics of what happened, but we do know that it is a Hillsborough County school bus from Mary Bryant Elementary School, and all of the students who are on that bus, including the bus driver, have been accounted for. Peter Bernard, who is on the scene, is telling us that there may have been some minor injuries, but from what we can tell, there are no serious injuries. Back to you, Peter.
Yes, and one student who was aboard that bus told me that he saw some students bleeding, so obviously there have been some injuries caused by this accident this afternoon.
And the one thing we know in the world of social media, we've seen some pictures from Twitter as one of the first ways that we saw this. I don't know if any students were able to grab some of those shots for us, but this has been making the rounds on social media, and